to the channel. As you can see, Jenna's back with us. Unfortunately, we got in a little wrestling match before the show, so that's why we look like kind of like we're beat up a little bit. But you know what? It's just what it is. This is kind of we take a break from working, and this is just us without really any kind of fanfare. So, wanted to go over a couple things, but before we actually begin the program, you guys know the routine. If you're watching with us live, please comment in the chat, participate in the conversation. You guys help us make this live what it is. It certainly wouldn't be something we would be doing anymore if it wasn't for you guys, because it would just be me rambling in front of the camera. I could have done that. But if you're not with us today, you're watching after the fact, just comment down below. Maybe you have a question or a comment or answer to someone's question, put that comment down below. But either way, make sure you're hitting that like button. That is what drives the algorithm and tells YouTube that we've got a pretty good eBay community here, and it'll maybe bring others to the show. I always like seeing new faces in the program. And hopefully we can kind of do that today. What I wanted to do is talk about, I kind of put a little weird little title here. And, this whole ALERT146365 means nothing to really anyone. I'm sure no one knows what that is. But it's what eBay has assigned the code to this whole thing about a lack of impressions. And checking out E-commerce Bites. Again, that's a good site to check out if you're looking to read about eBay stuff or reselling stuff. And apparently there's a board that eBay has that shows ongoing technical issues. Now, it's not a very short one, as you can imagine. There's a lot of different technical issues. I've got one of my own that I have to report because it has not been put on the board that I can see here. But there's a lot of people reporting a drop in impressions. Now, impressions don't mean a whole lot, except they help paint a picture of the traffic coming into your store. We all know that without traffic, you're not making sales. And traffic turns into page views. People click on your listings. And if you've done a good job of listing your item and it's what the buyer wants, you'll turn those page views into sales. That's kind of how it works. So it's alarming for people who follow their traffic. They're wondering why their sales are slow. They look at their traffic and they realize that there's something not right. So, here's the thing. Glitches, like I mentioned, I've been mentioning it for a long time. Glitches are going to happen. Problems with the site are going to happen. And, it got me to thinking, I get a lot of messages from people saying, we need to form our own website. We need to come together as sellers and, just walk away or stop selling for a day. And you know what? I understand the intent behind those remarks, but those aren't even possible, not even feasible. Okay. It doesn't even make sense to do anything like that because, 10% of you might decide just to boycott eBay and the other 90% are going to benefit because of those extra buyers that can't buy their item are going to be buying theirs. So that's not feasible. And, it got me to thinking to the idea of, I was checking out Craigslist Hunter's video and he gave out a lot of good tips yesterday. And it got me to thinking about what he goes through. You guys know he has a storefront and most of us don't have storefronts. eBay is our storefront. It's a virtual storefront. And, what would you do if you had a storefront and let's say the fire hydrant broke, right? And you had water spraying all over the place. Would you get on social media and complain about it? Would you get mad? Or would you maybe reach out to the city? Maybe you're mad at the city because of it, but would you reach out to the city and allow them to at least come in to fix the problem? And I think a lot of us, when it comes to eBay, we kind of complain a lot, but rarely do we do anything to try to fix the problem. And I can tell you from a corporate standpoint that the squeaky wheel tends to get the grease. And the more noise on a particular subject, which means more complaints, more complaints on a particular subject, then that tends to get more attention. Now, we can sit here on boards or videos and complain and wonder. But if eBay isn't aware of that, how much these kind of bugs affect us users, they're not going to take as much concern that we'd like to see them take in fixing these problems. So I think it's important that, you know, if you encounter a problem, and some of you guys might not even be interested in doing this, things are going great for you. And as I said before, with many things, if things are going perfectly great, you have nothing to complain about, then don't complain about anything. Don't try to fix anything because it's not broken. But for many people who are experiencing problems with eBay, regardless of the glitch, whether it's the impression glitch or anything else, I have a link in this video, and it's what I would hope that you guys would use to go in and report, and it'll take you to this little board that I'm talking to you about, to report these problems. And you can see, like, there's sellers with organic impressions have dropped significantly. There's a ticket, that's the ALERT146365 that I've mentioned in the title. There's people that can't message their buyers, stating that your account is not authorized to use this feature. Image one being displayed smaller than the other images, which is a pretty big deal. Sellers unable to purchase eBay shipping labels. Sellers are seeing ship by date have 1 day delay in eBay app. I've seen that. Members unable to list draft item. Sellers are getting, we ran into problem, try again later when downloading financial statements. Item title search is active, listing page turns 0 results. Multiple members reported issue with search as the keyword getting auto-corrected. We've seen that before. That's an older one. So it kind of just keeps going. I can keep going until tomorrow probably.
It's not.
But there's one glitch of the day. I'm gonna have glitch of the week. The glitch of the week is something that Jenna and I both have come across. And when sending offers to watchers, you send an offer. Let's say you have like 4 or 5 offers, right, on the PC. I don't know if it's doing that on the app, but on the PC, you go and click the first offer and you send it, right? And it'll take you back and it'll still have all 5 offers there. But if you try to click on a different one, it won't let you do it. You have to go in and refresh the page before it'll allow you to send another offer. It won't even let you click on another link. So that part is broken. You just got to learn to navigate around it. And I'll be putting in a ticket. It'll take 5 minutes. But I think collectively, if we report the problems we encounter, I mean, it is in your best interest to do these things. You know, you might think it's not my problem, but it really is, because if a glitch or error causes you difficulty of navigating through something or making a sale or getting business, it's that fire hydrant outside that's leaking, guys. And you can ignore it and let it just continue to leak, and people won't walk into your shop. It's a bad analogy, I know, but it's the only one I have. Or you can do something about it. Check out the link that I've provided in this live stream here, and go in and at least follow the instructions and report whatever issues you encounter. Because eBay, look, we all think that eBay doesn't care, but I don't think they realize how big of a deal this is, how widespread it is, because a lot of us don't even report it. So that's my 20 cents on the matter. I will now step off my soapbox, and we will talk to you guys about what you have in mind today. And hopefully you guys have some thoughts on this issue as well. We have Biscuit Butt. What's up, FAE family? Shout outs. Ain't easy. Congrats, man. Yeah. It's kind of cool that Pete, Craigslist Hunter, in his video had, put a shout out to the channel. Totally not expecting that. It was just like, really, wow. It was very kind of just surreal.
It almost made him tear
up. It was
up.
real. No, it was just like, wow, really? I mean, here's a guy that I watched for many, many years. I mean, even as a part-timer, he's one of the ones that we watched. And, to have it kind of come full circle, that he would just shout out the channel like that. So thank you, Pete. I appreciate that. It was really cool to see that. And
he might be in the background.
He might be. I'll see his eyes here pretty soon if he's here watching with us. But I thought that is really kind of a cool thing for him to do, and he didn't have to do that. And I really think that's cool. So thank you, Pete. Sylvia Chamberlain says, happy Friday to all. Yes, it is Friday, TGIF. And Friday, I don't know what Friday means to everyone out there. Maybe a little different to everyone, but days kind of just mesh together here. Maybe on a weekend we'll take a little time off because we don't have to ship, right? Mark Zedek says, "Hi all. I hope you had a great sales week. My sales were slow, unfortunately." Sales are down a little bit for me. I'd say, according to eBay, it says sales are down the last 31 days by a little less than 5%, which ain't that big of a deal. It's like the margin of error, right? I guess impressions are down, at least what eBay is reporting. But what can other than reporting it, what can we do other than pushing forward, buying more merchandise, like I showed you in the video the other day, and just pushing ahead. That's all we can kind of do. Had one sale today, pretty decent size sale, $140 sale. And hopefully, I did a refresh on my store before we got on the air here. A refresh in that went in and ended items, sell similar, that kind of thing. And we'll see what that does for the weekend. It'll give all those items a new item push. So we'll see. We have Victor New York in the house, hoping everyone has a great weekend. Yes, you too, Victor. Thank you for the kind words. Kevin Hawthorne says, "Good evening from Lakeland, Florida." We have Earl Gendron. I don't remember seeing you around, so welcome to the program. Got added as a victim of ALERT146365. The customer service rep said to give them some time to work on it. If I don't see improvement in 48 hours, I call them back. Yeah. So at least you got the ball rolling. So look, one person does it, two people do it. It's like no big deal. Hundreds, maybe thousands of people seeing, this live stream and saying, you know what, it is my business to report everything that happens to my business. And I'm not saying to get on the phone and deal with someone in the Philippines. Just simply go through the chat and spend 5 minutes, log your complaint, and move on, and let eBay collectively deal with our concerns.
Yeah, because if no one reports it, or only 5 or 10 people report it, then they're not going to take any kind of concern about it. They're going to be like, oh, those people are just, something else is going on. Yeah. So the more people that report it, even if it is in chat or on the e-commerce bites link, then maybe they will actually do something about it.
Yeah, one link, one report, 2 reports, maybe 10 reports is really worthless to them. They're thinking, well, this is an anomaly. It's not worth the resources that's going to be spent to try to, repeat the problem and fix the problem. But if we give them an inundation of here's what's affecting us as a whole, now it's a problem. And so it's more than a tech problem. It's going to get out to well beyond them that there is an issue, and it's being reported on a much larger scale. So rather than complain, let's just report it and treat it as an important part of our business. The reality is, as I put in the little description in this live stream, the reality and the fact is we are all beta testers for whatever changes are happening, and we need to treat it as such and report the problems. Tony Med says, "Hello all." Hey Tony, how you doing? And oh my goodness, I haven't seen one of these in a little while. That's my fault, but I haven't. Looks like we've made a sale on Mercari. So, it's. Oop, you guys hear that? Okay, an electric peeler. Interesting. So it's pretty sad when Bonanza is outselling Mercari, and that's what's been happening the last week.
That's actually on my store.
Yeah. So pretty good stuff. But hit that like button, guys, because when you do, in 24 hours, you get a sale. I don't know how it works that way, but so many people report that they hit the like button on this live stream and they get a sale. So just weird stuff. That stranger says, "Hello, hope everyone is having a good week." Fairly good, yeah. I'm decked out of my Raider stuff. This is not a football channel, but we have we have the live stream. We have the live NFL draft going on here this week, and I'm wearing it to kind of bring good vibes to my team. So Truman316 says, "Hello all. I hope everyone had a great week. Ready to kick this weekend off, ready to kill it and drag it home." Okay, excellent. It doesn't have to be all bad as far as, and it's weird here. Hold on. My phone's going crazy.
It's
my phone was doing
to him and going to text.
Yeah, I was like, who's texting me? And it's like, it was me texting myself, actually. I was somehow replying to a Mercari sale on my phone. But the sales don't have to be all that bad. Look, we see reports of low traffic, other channels reporting, good weeks, bad weeks, but everyone has a different situation. So just keep plugging away. Maya Koyama, I'm sorry, my Hooked on Phonics didn't get here this week. Hello all, just going to be working on listing while listening to the stream. Excellent. Thanks for being here with us. And thanks for checking in and saying hi. Jovial says, Wowie John, a shout out from Pete. That's awesome. Yeah, really cool. Sandra Hoyer says, hello all. Fisher Flips says, good afternoon. Waiting for a call back from eBay to see what's going on with all the issues. I'm down 97% from last week.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a concern. And, as far as callbacks, I'm not one to, they tell you, can we call you back? I don't hold my breath when that happens because it sometimes doesn't happen. Maybe an eBay for business is in order on Facebook, or like I said, follow the link to the where you can go into the chat and maybe report whatever problems you're having. Callie Deb says, hey there, everyone. Thanks for being here. Whispering Hill Farm says, hello, friends. I'm currently knee deep in cowbull poo-poo, mending fences with my husband. I'll be listening, but anything witty Picky Ricky says, I'll take credit. I haven't seen Picky Ricky.
Neither have I.
So maybe he's not taking credit today.
Maybe he fell asleep.
I don't know. It's late there in the UK. Truman says, Jenna's back. John is going to have to behave. Keep him in line. I'm always behaved. Keena's in the house. Hey, everyone. Happy Friday, eBay Club. Brian says, hi, John and Jenna. How you doing, Brian? Mark says, a big welcome back, Jenna. The live is not as good without you. Watch out, John. The boss is back. Keep you in line.
Thank you, Mark.
Andy is in the house. Thanks for being here. And No Design, the pup looks poop. Now, we were saying, who is going to comment on our dog?
I told you it was No One Design.
Yeah, that was the one.
Yeah, right there.
Ashton C says, when listing today under promotion, I got offered something new, dynamic promotion, adjustable promotion rate. And anyone notice that I think it's on the app, when you're listing something, maybe it's not on the app. Maybe it's on the PC. But when you're listing something at the very bottom, it looks a little different. It's like the graphics on the promoted listings. Yeah, no, it's on the PC. It says promoted listings. It says promoted listing standard, reach more buyers, only pay when your item sells through a click on your ad. And then there's a little advertisement. It says 25% more clicks when using promoted listing standard on average. And then, it tells you the suggested rate. So they're really pushing it.
It wasn't like that yesterday.
So that's a little new one there. Sandra says, hey, Ashton, I got that too. Got the dynamic promotion. Never heard of that. So want to know more about that one. Glitches get stitches. Yes. And we can keep rhyming with that, but I won't. My boring reseller life says, yeah, we can start our own website and call it Waggle Pop. Wait, an eBay seller tried that once. Yeah, just the idea, you're never going to you can have the best programming in the world, which is eBay is short of. You're never going to get the kind of traffic that eBay has built up just through reputation over the years. And that's the problem. I had someone reach out maybe 6 months ago and said, hey, we want you to, put our site out there. And they were developing a site to sell on eBay, and it looked okay, right? But I'd never heard them even launch it at this point. I told them I wasn't interested because, bless you, cauliflower. Can't sneeze on the live stream. It's not
Sorry.
Good. No, but they just don't have the traffic that, is necessary to make it successful. So we got ABC Matt. Oh, hey, ABC Matt. Nice to see you. I want to be flipping ain't easy when I grow up, or my channel grows up, whichever happens first. Nice to see you again, Matt. We saw you at the container park with the trash to cash. Yeah, he was handing out stickers and stuff. So yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. Check out his channel. He deals a lot with sports cards and things like that. So if that's up your alley, then I have sports cards. I think I bought some from Cincinnati Picker on his Whatnot one time. Just kind of wanted to kind of help him, like when he first started doing Whatnots with his cards. But I love my baseball, my sports. It's just just what it was. But I don't really collect like that. Lord Finn says, I agree. Let's form an eBay sellers union. But again, the way eBay looks at it is they'll just replace us. It's not like we have any power. Ashley Hook says, hey, haven't been here for live in a while. Glad I could make it today. Well, awesome, Ashley. Thank you for being here. Hopefully I got the last name right. I'm bad with, as people can tell you, I'm bad with pronunciations and stuff like that. I think I skipped that day in school. Biff Boffo says, the movement to form a new website makes as little sense as the conspiracy theories that eBay is doing this to increase promoted listings. It's just a massive technical issues. Yeah, I don't think that there's any actual nefarious thing that eBay's doing in the background to, maybe to my store, because I think that they hate me. But aside from that, I think there's nothing that eBay's doing to collectively hurt sellers. The bottom line is this. They are always going to need sellers on the platform. They are always going to need us, because that is how they're getting their fees. When they lose buyers, they've got to find ways to get more money off the back of the sellers, off of each sale that's made. And it doesn't do them any good to have lower sales. That hurts their bottom line. So it's they want the same thing that we want, except we want it with less fees. They want it with more. That's the only difference. So this idea that they're out to get us, they're out to slow us down, they're out to push us to, now maybe they are out to push us to promoted listings, but not like that. Okay. They're going to put little things like in your lister that'll tell you get 25% more sales to kind of coerce you into using promoted listings, which I think in many cases you should be if you have items that aren't showing up higher in search. And you can just simply log into a browser without logging in and looking for some of these items to see where you're placing in search. And if you're up against a lot of competition and you're popping up on page 3, 4, 5, you might want to consider not only promoting, but promoting at a higher rate. Woody Hayes says, dealing with bogus eBay Vero BS. eBay said it is counterfeit. It is not, and we can prove, but eBay says we take no side in this matter, but gave a 3-day selling restriction advice. Wow. You can't even, so they suspended you right off the bat, huh? Has this happened to you before? Because for me, I would be on the horn with someone saying, hey, wait, like a supervisor, because this is your business. It's no different than maybe, I don't know, the health department shutting your business down for 3 days without any adequate proof. I'd be down at City Hall or wherever I could be to try to get my business back open. So talk to, you can probably get trust and safety, get a supervisor on the line, and also reach out to eBay for Business. They're going to give you an email with an email from maybe the company that may be reported. Maybe send them a message saying, hey, this is my livelihood. This is an authentic item. I will not sell it anymore, but can you please contact eBay and unwind this thing, because it's not just your item I'm selling other things that are unrelated to your complaint. Biff Boffo says, I did report the issue, but eBay for Business denied my problems. I guess I could try to report it to the board you mentioned. Yeah, that is, on the link there, as far as I think you're talking about, let me go back to what you said here. Well, that's not it. You had another one, but nonetheless, use the link in that was just another comment that he made. Use the link if you have a glitch. That'll get you to chat and in touch with somebody. Victor says, where do we find the link that you're referring to? So in this video, and I'll kind of go there real quick while I'm talking, because I want to make sure it's there. In this video, I'll space it out a little bit better so you can see it. There's a link. I don't know if it'll let you click on that link. You should, but it's the communityebay.com link, and go in there, and it'll have this little list of different glitches at the top of that page, or near the top of that page. You'll see a little blue hyperlink that says click here. You'll click there and you go to the bottom where it says chat, and then just speak to a rep and let them know. If you know what the code is, like the code that I provided in the title, then that'll give them a heads up. It'll allow them to appropriately report the problem and log it, with all the other thousands of people who have already logged their complaint about that. So hopefully that helps you out. Let's see, what do we have? We have Truman says, Woody Hayes, don't list whatever they're calling counterfeit, sell it local and move on. Susan Pantoja or Pantoja says, what is your opinion on this international special ship to their hub when you can get insurance and not responsible no more? Have you tried this? So if you're talking about eBay international shipping program, I haven't, I know I did a video on what they were proposing last year, but I have since turned off international shipping because they have wanted to kind of harass me about shipping certain items to Europe. So I just said, you know what, forget it. I don't get enough business to have a potential suspension for maybe one or two items. So for me, I haven't really looked into it. From what I saw, though, it said something about no returns. So anyone have experience with that program as it pertains to returns? That mean once they get it, even if it's an INAD, that it's just eBay's going to cover the buyer and no problem to the seller. That's a good thing. But maybe I need to do some more homework on that. But I just haven't because I really don't use it too much.
Victor found the link.
Righteous Monkey says, ran into that today too. I'm sure. I'm assuming you're talking about the fact that it won't allow you to, once you send your first offer, do anything else without refreshing the page. Jeff says, John, Jenna, and folks, thank you for keeping me company while I work on this CWAP. CWAP. Backyard Mowing says, eBay for Business has been next to worthless lately. Yeah, I stopped using them a long time ago, but I hear people still have success. So for me, I think it's
a hit or miss.
Yeah. PTS Treasures, I noticed a huge discrepancy in sell-through rate between the app, Terapeak, and what it shows on the listing. Is anyone else experiencing that? What I'm seeing is like, I'll look at the website on the PC, and I'll take a look at what it's reporting me for like the last 90 days. And then I'll look at the app, and it's like reporting that I've made like $2,000 or $3,000 more for the 90-day period on the app versus the PC. So, I mean, I don't know what to believe when it comes to them. Those are all gross sales anyway, before all the deductions are taken out. So, it is what it is. I'm just used to it. I'll be surprised one day where one day happens where there's just not a problem. Okay. And not only not a problem that I deal with, because I deal with a lot of other people, who message me. If I just encounter one day where someone is not reporting a problem with eBay, I will be very surprised.
I'm not holding my breath.
Yeah. No Design 2 says, for all the glitch errors and knick-knack quirks eBay pumps out, I will never say eBay sucks because eBay makes me money. A lot of it. You just have to write it off as doing business hiccups.
That's right.
Let me ask you guys a question. What would you rather have? Would you rather have a website that is clean, bells and whistles? There's a bell. Let me get it. Actually, no, I'll let you get it. There's a lot of heavy boxes. I didn't want you to have to deal with it.
Well, is it FedEx?
Yeah, this has to be FedEx. So we have 4 big boxes. I didn't want her. They're right by the door, but I didn't want to have her struggle with it. And they won't come in the house either to get the box. So hopefully she doesn't have a problem. So what would you rather have? A site that's full of bells and whistles, that's beautiful, that runs clean, not a problem. I mean, I guess you can maybe compare that to maybe type like an Amazon type website that doesn't have half the traffic? Or would you rather have a broken site like we're dealing with that still has the traffic and the sales? At the end of the day, we don't do this because we're playing a video game and we want to see beautiful graphics. We do this because we're trying to make money. Regardless of why you're trying to make money, maybe you enjoy reselling, but the reward is what we're after, and that's making money. So I would rather deal with the headaches, make the money, and just know that the headaches are part of doing business, rather than having a very clean, easy platform to deal with. Just Peachy says, I've had 0 organic views for the past 3 days. eBay for Business said it's probably just a cosmetic bug and they will look into it. My sales have been horrible and now I know why. Yeah. And I don't know the answers to all of the whys. I just know that it's happening to some people, some more than others. Some people say sales are great and Maybe it's just affecting certain types of items. Maybe it's just affecting certain parts of the country. I don't know. And I'd like to, I learn more about it, but because eBay is not transparent, they won't put out anything. I mean, good thing that you have people like Ina Steiner who will put out a website and she'll put the information she's able to gather, but I guarantee you eBay ain't offering it to her. And that's the thing. It's like, we want eBay to succeed. We want to work with eBay through these problems, but yet they pretend like it's not a problem and it doesn't exist. And when we call, they act like everything's fine. They tell people things are fine. There's no problems, but there's people there that know that there are, and they're not sharing that information with us. Maya says, I'm noticing something weird happening with my promoted listings. I'll receive an offer from a buyer, and there's nothing on the offer page saying the buyer came from a promoted ad view. Huh. I haven't noticed that one. Perfectly Blessed says, welcome back, Jenna.
Thank you.
Carol C, hello from rain-soaked Maryland. I could use some rain.
We could use some rain. It's very hot.
This is our first year in this. Well, we were in this house. We moved in August, and she had this office initially. It's starting to get really warm in this place, in this room, and there's no
ceiling
fan in this stupid thing.
There's a ceiling fan in every room.
We got the air on,
except this one.
We got the air on, and it still don't matter. It's still not.
It's just
weird.
It's very claustrophobic.
I almost want to put there's like a ledge up on this above the closet. As weird as that is, I almost want to put like one of those fans. Those, what do they call them? Vornadoes, and aim it. It's like right. It's right under the vent,
right below the air conditioning,
and have it blow this way. But I don't know. We'll figure that out. That's not your guys' problem. Cornhusker Picker says, I had a new glitch this morning, and I have never seen. Was lowering up a price on an item, and then a pop-up said it's not my listing, so I can't alter the price.
What?
So they hijacked your listing?
Wow.
Really
Somebody
strange.
took ownership.
Well,
of it.
I saw something. Didn't I see something in the list that said, it said your account is not authorized to use this feature. So that's similar. So maybe it's not linking your account to your login. Maybe it's thinking you're not logged in. Maya says, sometimes I'll accept a slightly lower offer if I think I won't be paying the ad fee. Then a day later, it shows up in my sold items saying that I'm paying the promoted fee. Wow. Yeah. Well, you moved the item, right?
Well, at least it's sold.
Wanda wants to know if you're okay. I can imagine what you want to let him know what your thoughts are. I gotta go do something real quick.
Okay. My trip went well. It was very overwhelming. And my aunt said it best. That day, Sunday, was everything. Every emotion, every feeling, everything that we anticipated it would be, and so much more. We had over 200 people show up to my sister's house for this celebration of life. And I had gotten close to about 135 RSVPs. But what we found out, my cousin worked for the school district in California, and she was a special needs teacher for working independently with individual children. And she was very good at it. Well, what we found out is that the superintendent got a hold of my Evite that I sent out on Facebook, and she sent it to the entire school district. So we had people RSVPing 2 days before, the day before, and the morning of. And so we had well over 200 people plus family. And it was, like I said, it was everything you could imagine. It was sad. It was happy tears. There were family that I got to see that I haven't seen, some of them, in 10 years. And so it was very heartwarming, but it was a very difficult day because we still Don't know why she passed. We still have a pending cause of death. But the overwhelmingness of the love that you could feel was very intense. And it was, many a times my sisters and I had to go into a bedroom and just let it all out, compose ourselves, and come back. We did speeches, her brothers, me and my sisters. It was very difficult, but we had a lot of support. My daughter was there. John, our oldest daughter was there with her husband and family. My son was there. My other son came. And so I had a lot of people supporting all of us for that matter. But, when I broke down, my children surrounded me along with my mom. And so it was a very good turnout. Everything went exactly how we wanted it to. But the emotions, like I said, it was everything.
All I know is that evening I get a phone call from Jenna on FaceTime, and her sister moseys on over there, and she is like, it's a different person. Apparently they all went through 2 bottles of Fireball. So
yes.
I don't know.
I don't drink. I am a recovering alcoholic, so I do not drink. Almost 9 years sober, but some of my family members do. And my cousin, the one that passed away, her favorite drink was Fireball, as is John's.
And I don't drink,
and he doesn't drink. But so there were some people in her honor who wanted to have shots. Fine, I'll be the photographer, but I'm not going to participate. But they brought jugs of this Fireball. So some people had just a little too much. Thankfully, nobody got sick. But yes, my sister was in the FaceTime. I'm calling him after everybody's left, and there's just a few straggling family that are hanging out. And I'm emotional, and John is my rock. He holds me up when I'm emotional, when I'm everything. And so I needed him, so I called him, and the kids are playing in the jumper in the background. And then all of a sudden, here comes my sister, and, acting like a fool. Ask her if she remembers, and the answer is no. But it's all in good fun and love.
All I remember is some boob grabbing and some like, can I do something with these loaves? I don't know. It was like, I don't know what that was about, but I'm like, okay, I'm sure alcohol was involved.
I had a dress that was, it showed a little, probably too much, but anyway.
So that's what I can tell you.
But yes, I had a great time.
Yeah.
I spent a lot of time with my sister and my nieces. It was very difficult to leave because my nieces are very attached to me. And so to spend that quality time with them was very, very important for me. So anyway, I'm glad to be back, though. I'm not happy about this heat, but I am glad to be back.
Yeah. Well, thank you for asking, though, Wanda. That's nice of you.
Thank you.
Biff says, this is a waiting game. What else can you do? Well, it's one of those things where you got to keep running your business, got to keep listing, got to keep grinding, and things will work themselves out eventually. Rosie Game says, nice to see you back, Jenna. Truman says, I understand, Woody, the Vero counterfeit systems are not fair or consistent. You can't get a straight answer from eBay on any of the Veros or counterfeits. No, and they won't.
And I mean, to know that you were suspended for 3 days for, you didn't mention if this was the first time or not, but for them to just all of a sudden slap on a restriction that, we've gotten Veros before, but never, they never.
Heck, even Amazon, if you're selling on Amazon and you piggyback off an existing listing and like, okay, I got this thing, third-party brand thing in a pallet, and I see on Amazon I can list it. It's not gated, meaning that doesn't show a restriction to sell that item. I go on and put that item on Amazon, and that seller can now get nasty and say it's a counterfeit even though you got it directly from them, right? And report you. And even with Amazon, the first time, they're not suspending your account. It'll hurt your account health a little bit, but it doesn't suspend you. Let's see. Blackwood Resellers says big weekend as it's her wedding anniversary, 34 years.
Well, happy anniversary.
Yeah.
34 years. That's awesome.
Let's see. Biscuit Butt says I've a glitch that is preventing me from listing every day. Reported to eBay, but Bob transferred me to someone else. And I'm still on hold, going on 8 months now. I think you're not the only one that's having that problem. I think that's a glitch that's been going on even before eBay.
Just for Archie.
That's called what do they call it? The death pile glitch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We love you anyway, Archie.
Mike from LA says how to increase my eBay listing limits. Thanks. Well, you got to show consistency. You got to show a good account health for the little time that you've been on. I don't know how long you've been selling for, but go on and ask, call eBay or, maybe chat, but call eBay or call Bob and see if, what it takes to get your listings increased. I think sometimes you can either do it on the app as well, request a increase in limits. I'll let you have some of mine. As you guys know, I have 2 billion listings that I'm allowed to list, which I'll never list that much in my lifetime. Let's see. Zachariah says, wishing you all a summer speed up. It's let's list more recession-proof items and reverse the trend. We can do it, y'all. Godspeed, John and Jenna, and the rest of the reseller community. Yeah.
Thank you.
You just got to find things that people need, regardless of how hot or cold it is outside. Now, I don't think that you should necessarily create a niche around that, but maybe you're selling this type of item that's not selling. Add this type of item to what you're selling and to help you get through the slow times, But if you're just continuing to do the same thing that you do that you knew worked before once upon a time, and you're hoping that it's going, if you only have hope, if you're only banking on hope to get you through any slowdown, that isn't enough. You got to take action. You got to be proactive, and you can't, heck, even be reactive, which is a lot of companies do. They're reactive, not proactive, but at least you're doing something, even if you're a little late to the game by being reactive and doing something different.
Even if you're slowly, trying to weed out some of those lower items, doing it a little bit at a time is better than just sitting on a bunch of low items and hoping that they find that right unicorn buyer.
Yeah. And Perfectly Blessed says, started having a problem yesterday that I have to refresh my page after every action I perform, happening on 2 different computers.
Yes.
Yeah, that's happening on the sending offers. It's doing that.
It also was happening. I was cross-listing using Prime Lister from eBay to Poshmark, and it was doing the same thing, and I had to refresh. I would click it, click the option to do, what item I wanted to cross list, and it wouldn't do anything. And so I refreshed it, and once I refreshed it, then it would do its thing.
So PTS Treasure says dynamic is variable rate that changes daily based on eBay suggested rate. So that's something that's been going on since promoted rates have been going. They have a suggested rate that changes. And I think I did a video like maybe even more than a year ago that said, hey, this dynamic rates change not only on a daily basis, but within 5 minutes, you can list an item, list the very same item and get a different suggested rate. Leonard got his sale for the hitting the like button. Awesome.
Woo-hoo!
That's awesome. Ashley says, LOL, it's hooky, like cookie with an H. Okay, so not hook. Sorry.
It's going to take him a little while to get that.
Yeah, just the
Maybe
double
just
E thing.
say Ashley.
The double E thing is throwing me off here. No, I understand. But don't feel bad. Literally nobody can pronounce my last name. When I was in school, the yearbook publishers always autocorrected it to Duke. Hopefully not Dookie. But no. just saying. But yeah. But in school they might accuse you of playing hooky, right? So that is another bad joke.
Just
Lisa says, listening and listening. Thanks for sharing, guys. Look, if I was a comedian, I would
No.
actually not be on this channel right now. So
He would never make it. He needs to keep his eBay
no,
page up.
no, I mean, I'd have bottles thrown at me by now and stuff. No, it's not a good look.
Oh, God.
ABC Matt says eBay changed the algorithm on me because I gave them bad feedbacks.
Oh.
I don't know. It's possible. They are known for
Who knows?
not liking people for things that have been said. Biscuit Butt said, Ashley, he won't remember. He will get your name right after the 200th time. Jenna corrects him. No, I'll get it right because I'll
Just
remember the
ask
whole.
Sandra Hoyer.
Yeah.
It took how long for him to get that one?
But, it's, if I can make a bad joke and remember the bad joke, then I'll remember it. So Jovial Juggler says, Happy National Hairball Awareness Day. Really?
I hope you're not suffering or partaking.
Maya Koyama says, hello, having a weird glitch with promoted. I get an offer from a buyer and it doesn't say they come from promoted ad. After I accepted, a day later, it shows on my sold page it was from a promoted ad. I think I'm just going down. She might have wanted me to say it again. Roman says, I don't call eBay anymore. They blocked my number.
I'm not surprised.
Sandra says the dynamic rate for promoted listing has me having to go in when listing and entering a percentage between 0 and 100% manually on each listing. Really? It usually just, for me, I accept the suggested rate. And
mine has been, when was doing mine, it would go like 1% or 2% underneath what is suggested. So I have to go in and change it.
And Maya says it comes off as dishonest. I'm not sure if it's intentional or just a glitch. I would hate to think that eBay would stoop to the level where they would trick people into paying more money. I mean, I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt by saying that that's not. It's more likely a glitch. And we've seen it all. We've seen all these glitches. You've seen all these glitches, and it's more than likely it's a glitch. Yeah. Biscuit Bus says, Roman, they blocked you because they don't speak Russian. They don't have, they don't have a call center in Moscow yet. Let's see. Wanda says, I have had 20 items with promotions since January. Nothing is sold. Failed experiment. Maybe try changing the promoted rates. Remember, I've done a video where I've promoted 100% on 2 items for a couple days for 48 hours and none of them sell. Neither item sold. So just because you're promoting doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to get a sale. It's just going to affect the placement in the search for that item. And if it's an item that's not heavily searched, then that could have something to do with it. Yeah. Or high competition as well. Biff says, I limited my international shipping to Canada only, and even Canada is barely worth the trouble.
Yeah, it's not.
Yeah. I mean, the thought is, look, the thought behind the argument is, look, there's 70% more people outside the U.S. than in the U.S., and that's potentially 70% more people that you can market your item to. But if you think that, well, most of those people aren't on eBay, third world countries and things like that, a lot of them are probably going to be in some of the, countries like Europe countries, maybe in Asia a little bit, that type of thing, South America. But they're not buying at that rate, the same rate as a U.S. person would be, or if you're in the UK, a UK person would be. I found
that a lot of the items that we did sell international was more to people who are in the military and their families are based in another country. So they're buying, the items here and then shipping them to wherever they're based.
Yeah. Lord Finn says, as part of the international shipping beta, eBay handles return and you keep the sale once it's shipped. Great feature. But what if it's an INAD, item not as described? How do they handle that one? Yeah. The VIN Chris collection says, we've had 0 organic views for the last 3 days. We called eBay, escalated to a supervisor. Now we only have 1 listing. Appears they have done away with the second organic listing. So you had 2 listings. I had a situation, this is about 2 years ago. I did a video on that where my entire store had no views at all for like 2-3 days. And they had to go back in, and there was definitely a problem with how my store was cataloged, and they had to, let the text deal with all that. Biff says the app and PC 90-day gross has not matched in months. Only in the last month have they at least become close. Which one's right, though? Is it the app or the... I'm hoping the app's right, but, you know, it doesn't match up with the deposits I've been getting, so I don't think it is. Stepmo's in the house. Whoops. Thank you for being here. Jumping around here. The VIN Chris says my page views are at a year low the last 3 days. 0 sales for 2 days. Almost 3,000 listings. Over 80,000 in inventory listed on eBay. 0 organic views. Supervisor says it's a known issue. That's a big one.
That's huge.
Because if it's just a glitch, now remember, glitches happen in all different ways. So if it's a glitch that eBay is just reporting that you have 0 views, even though you have views, then you're okay. But if it's a situation where you're just not getting you're not appearing in search, then that's a big problem. And I would be like, okay, for that size store, I don't know what you're paying a month, but I'd be like, you guys got to be giving me, I know it's not going to help your bottom line, but you guys got to give me some kind of credit here because you're not providing the service that I'm signed up for.
Right.
Let's see. Guide Guru says, hey guys, thanks for being here. Techno Designus has just become a top rated seller by last week, or became. We have a high, I didn't type that. We have high impressions and very low views this week. What do you think about it? If you have high impressions, that means you're showing up on their search results. Okay. Something that they're seeing, they're going down, whatever shows up on their screen becomes an impression. Okay. And your listing, it tells me your listing isn't catching someone's eye enough for them to click on it because it would be a page view. And that's that would become a view. So maybe your photos aren't maybe as good as the others. Maybe you need to do a little bit better job with your photos. Maybe your title isn't where it needs to be. Remember, the first 5 or 6 words need to be in line with what the buyer would type in if they're looking for your item. And maybe your price isn't, enough to get them to click on it. So these are things that you might want to consider. If you have a store, add markdown sales, add I love the public coupon thing. And like, for instance, I have my traffic. Well, at least my sales, I like to look at that number. How many items do you have in comparison with how many items have sold? And eBay will show you that, like on the app. I think it shows I have 255 items in my main account. We've sold 510. So that's an excellent ratio. So you want to be able to find items that are going to get you a higher ratio, because eBay is that falls under account health when eBay's figuring where you're going to be placed in search. So those are all things you need to kind of think about. Let's see. Amazon seller says third-party marketplace sites have horrible interfaces and bells and whistles, but you can pay up and get third-party service if you want those extra benefits. Yeah, I'm just saying that, I think a lot of times we want to have everything perfect. We want to have a perfect site that functions perfectly. We want the perfect sales, but I think we need to kind of know that eBay's still providing, at least most of us. I know the stories that we've been talking about here are people not getting any sales. But for most of us who aren't experiencing those problems, I'm still getting sales. And I don't care, if they just turn all my listings to be like a white screen. As long as people are still buying, they know how to buy. It doesn't matter to me as long as I'm making the sale. But those glitches, if they're starting to become a problem to where you're not even getting sales, now that's where you really need to get kind of on the phone with somebody and inundate these people with phone calls, because that's affecting your business. Steve says, just signed up for YouTube, subscribed, and hit the like button and just got a sale. There you go. Hopefully it's a big sale because you hit the subscribe button too. So that's awesome. Eddie's in the house. So I'm behind on my listing and sourcing because a storm knocked out a tree over and took out my power lines and hit my house. Ooh, cut it up with chainsaw. So now I need to get rid of the brush. Wow.
I hope that didn't hit the roof. Did it hit the roof?
Well, I don't know. It looks like it knocked over the power line or something. But
that's scary.
Yeah. Another storm is on the way in the next hour.
Dang.
Well, at least you got firewood. So, look at the silver lining.
Look for the silver lining, okay?
Roman says, Archie, eBay is moving headquarters to Las Vegas, so you'll be able to just go and complain to them personally without calling.
God.
Is that true? Are they moving to Las Vegas? I don't think so.
No,
They're Silicon Valley.
This is Roman.
Well, you know, there's degenerates out there who look for any reason to come to Vegas.
We don't need any more people.
Let's see. Down the rabbit hole says 15 years over here. Over here.
50 here. Probably wedding anniversary.
Awesome.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, whatever that 15 years is.
I know what it is.
Sobriety. Awesome.
Very good. I'm so proud of you. That's awesome.
Picky Ricky says, I only binge drink when I go out. Go out, but not out.
Yeah.
Just out. Midwest Picker says, what's up? Sales need to pick up this weekend.
I hope so.
I do.
I hope so.
You know, I like to do my whole sell similar thing, you know, wipe out the store, go into ended items and relaunch everything once a week. I mean, yesterday we had a pretty good sales day. Today started off okay. And then it's been kind of crickets. So,
and it's weird because for the last like 3 or 4 weeks, Thursdays have been absolute crap. And yesterday we had, was it over a $500 day? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then today is $140. So, you know, you never know, but it all evens out. So as long as we're making money throughout the week, I'm okay.
Yeah. And Myzen363 says Craigslist Hunter gave you a shout out. Yeah, he did. He did like the screenshot for the channel and all that. I'm like,
so cool.
I'm all, Jenna, get in here.
Yeah.
Check this out. This is like too much. And so we both thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
You know, one thing that he did say that I am 100% on board with is a lot of us are selling small ticket items. Okay. And there's nothing wrong with that. But you got to do it in more volume to make that kind of a business model really work well. As you guys know, I've gravitated away from that because, you know, I'd rather sell, 5 items at $100 a piece every day than sell, 30 or 40 items at, $15, $20 a piece. But he did say that, from his experience, that the sweet spot where you want to be is over $25. Find items that are currently selling on eBay for over $25.
That's a rule we kind of made a long time ago, but
yeah,
how we deviated from it, I don't know.
Well, I mean, look, it's easy because especially when you're buying these liquidation pallets, right?
Yeah, the pallets were coming with a bunch of junk in the bottom, and what were we going to do? Not sell it, just trash it?
I mean, it was selling, but it was selling for under $20,
yeah.
So we'd list it. That's why the secondary store that we have is full of stuff like that, and I call crap, right? It's crap. But the crap will maybe sell anywhere between $50 and $100 a day. So I like to think that as a supplemental account that, we use to supplement what we make on the main account, but it's just loaded with stuff. And, I told Jenna, I said, look, we still need to keep, because we have all the shoes in the garage. We have all those LPs in the garage. We have just clothing in the garage. We have all kinds of stuff. And
I have a lot of clothing.
Well, now that I have that military stuff,
we have a tote of military stuff. Apparently, he picked up at the yard sale on Saturday.
It's not a bad thing. I mean, you guys watched the video. I don't know. I don't know, but picked up all that military garb, brand new tags. Just got to get listed. I don't know the value of it yet. I haven't done my comps on that. The deal was too good to pass up. $60 for the entire trunk load, and then even stuff that couldn't even fit in the trunk. 3 pairs of boots, stuff like that. I know it'll sell. Don't know if it's going to be on my main account or on the side account, but
it'll probably have to go on the main account only because that it's going to be higher than.
Yeah. And we're trying to focus the higher ASP items on the main account, and it's working, guys. I don't know how, sometimes you just got to take a leap of faith that, what I'm doing isn't what I want, and that's each and every person has to decide, is this what I want for my business? Am I making enough? For me, the answer was no. This is not what I want. This is just a bunch of crap. I did videos on it. So how do you get away from crap? Well, move the crap out of your store, right? So we moved it to the secondary store, and we focus more on better stuff. And that it's just totally night and day on that account. So, and eventually, like I said, we'll get rid of the secondary account once we get rid of the crap. But the crap still has some value. And I was telling Jenna, she doesn't like listing, but I want her to get in the habit of listing on that account. she doesn't like it, but you just never know what tomorrow brings, guys. If
he acts as if he's going to keel over.
No, you
tonight.
don't, but you don't know. We
No,
talk
you're
about
right.
the whole insurance
You are
thing.
right.
We
You
talk
are right.
about the whole lack of it, whether you have it or not. People had some good points in that video this week. But you just don't know. And I don't want anyone to feel like they can't do it because they haven't been doing it. To know the business. I
know that I can do it.
Truman says, unfortunately, we are living in an age where corporations are paying analytics firms to tell them they have a blockbuster product. Any mention on a platform is viewed as a positive response to a product. Yeah. Monster Loon says, congrats on 9 years.
Thank you.
Guide Guru says, I find it hard to believe that you are married to John and 9 years sober.
Right?
Are you talking to me? I've been sober for a long time. So thank you.
We've been together for
13 I got my
years.
sale.
So 13 years. And then I got sober.
Got my sale.
Oh, yep. He got a sale.
Yep. I sold a Weber electric grill stand. So sold that for $81 plus shipping. So that's nice. Let's see. No one designs. I feel you, Jenna. I'm a recovering sobriety, so I can't get a day without a beer.
Yeah.
Jeff Zedek, thanks for sharing about your trip, Jenna. That was real.
Oh, you're welcome.
Wanda says, Jenna, I've been there. You are not alone. I lost 9 people in 11 months. My husband, my son, my brothers. I know you have a family, but if you need to talk to a stranger, I'm here. Well, you're not a stranger.
Wanda,
you're no stranger.
Sorry.
A stranger is just someone who pops in out of nowhere saying that. You're not a stranger.
Yeah, Wanda's not a stranger.
Amazon Seller 99 says private label brands will protect their listings. If it's an item with just the brand and Amazon selling the item, it's usually a good idea to stay clear and list somewhere. Yeah, well, I learned that the hard way. I had some toner that, this is who counterfeits a third party knockoff. Well, I say knockoff, but who counterfeits a third party brand that's only sold like on Amazon? I don't know. Nobody, but they seem to have convinced Amazon that that's possible. And private label brands protect their listings. If it's an item just to get the brand, Amazon selling the item is usually a good idea to steer clear. I think I read that. Cornhusker Picker says, I'm going to be proactive this summer and cross-list on other sites. Also, new sites popping up all the time to try, such as Whatnot is Jamble and Jamble.
Whatnot and Jamble.
I've not heard of Jamble.
I've never heard of Jamble.
Never know. Get in the ground floor. That might, who knows what Jamble is. I've never heard of that. But check out the tool that I use. You use whatever tool you want, but if you want 14 days free, there's a link in the video, this live stream, and go and check it out. Get 14 days. Don't even have to give a credit card, and you're not obligated. But there's a lot of features in that I've seen that I haven't seen in other programs that really work well. No One Design says it's better than their go-to saying, I understand, even though they don't when you ask them to explain. They don't. Yeah. The reps don't understand. No. Just remember, reps will say what they have to say to what? Get you off the line. And I'm guilty of that too. When I was a rep, I would get in my mind, in the back of my mind, I'd get that person after the first 5 seconds as a rep. I knew I didn't want to talk to that person. And it was like, OMG would be in the back of my mind. And I would try to, this is going to be bad, but this is the way reps think. What could I do to get them off my phone? Because I didn't want to hear their complaining, their nastiness, whatever they had to say. And it was few and far between, but when they came on the line, I knew I didn't want to be involved in that phone call. MyZen363 says, when I list at night and do promoted listings, I've been getting odd things like directions in Russian, and it tells me I didn't promote it.
What the heck?
Well, what is Roman doing in your computer? I don't know. We got to check that. Roman, are you hacking lately?
Roman, are you Bob?
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, that's funny.
Let's see. Little Goat. I never seen Little Goat yet, so I thought there was something with my phone. There might be.
Maybe there is.
Jovial's afraid to make the jump into cross-listing. Look, here's the formula that works for us. If you have an item that you've listed just recently, and I'm playing with this stupid
He's
cat.
fidgeting.
If you If you have an item that you've just listed, don't cross-list that, okay?
Yeah.
Only cross-list it if it's been in your store at least 30 days or longer, because the demand, isn't there. Otherwise, you'd have sold it by now. So it's kind of safe to list it, cross-list it. Now, that doesn't mean you don't want to be on top of it. When you have your apps like your Mercari sending you a text, Poshmark sending you a notification, eBay sending you a notification, you know that any one of those sites you've sold something. So it's time, whenever you can, to go in once you've sold something and just take it off of the sites to the app. It literally takes like a minute to do it. And that minimizes the idea that, oh crap, I'm going to sell it. I think maybe that's happened to us once out of the hundreds of items that we've cross-listed and sold, and it hasn't been a problem. Nick Picker says, dealt with my worst buyer yet most of the day yesterday, gave them a good deal on a few old toys and found out they're a reseller too, and buy stuff and then try to claim issues to get a partial after. Well, that's no good. I mean, I don't mind dealing with other resellers. I don't care what they do with the item that they get from me. I'm never going to see it again. So if they're able to make hundreds of more dollars off of an item after they buy it from me, then awesome. Come back and see if you get some more deals from me, But to come back and to try to get partials, I just end the game by saying, look, we don't do partial refunds. If there's a problem with your item, send it back to me. Mm-hmm. Now, I don't tell them how to send it back. If they're a scammer, they're going to make sure that they don't pay for the return label. But if it comes back to me and there's something wrong with it, or if there's nothing wrong with it, I'm going to have a problem with it on the return, the cost of that return label. And I may deduct that from the actual refund. I've had eBay tell me it's okay. Oh, by the way, I don't think I told you this. So remember, I think it was like a week and a half ago, I told you guys that eBay sent me a nasty gram saying that I have abused the refund tool, right? I told you that, didn't I?
No.
This might have been while you were gone, but I abused the refund tool, and it said that, out of the number of times I've used it, I need to start being more, in line with they have like a little chart where they say where you should adjust this. Then I follow their processes to a T. So I'm like, this is BS. So I can't even use the refund tool anymore. Called and spoke to a rep, and he said, well, it's a glitch where eBay sent out this email to like a ton of people, and it wasn't meant for you. So it's like, okay, then I'm good then. So, I definitely would use the refund tool and even let them know, hey, as long as everything comes back, on the return, then you're going to get a refund. But if you're sending it back or you're trying to use the return process to get around, because I don't do free returns, we are going to deduct the cost of the label. So communication is key. Have that conversation with the buyer, but let it be known that I don't know what sellers you've been dealing with in the past. We just don't do that. We don't do partial refunds.
It just goes to their credibility. That's all.
Yeah. eBay Q1 down, possible due to issues with their site. Well, certainly. I mean, I look, if we as sellers are experiencing problems and glitches, what kind of glitches do you think the buyers are seeing? Of course, you don't interact with buyers. I don't interact with a lot of buyers. They don't take time to tell me, hey, I was trying to buy something last week, and I don't go on to buyer forums. I only go into seller forums. Maybe it's something I should do, though, to see if buyers are experiencing problems, because that could be a part of the reason too.
It could be.
Wanda wants to know, doesn't the seller have to pay currency exchange rates on top of the fees on that amount? So if you're dealing with international sellers, I believe that they do. But I do also know as sellers, we have to, anytime an international buyer buys your item, whether they're having it shipped to the US or not, we have to pay an additional amount for them being an international buyer. Andy Reno says, what I've seen on eBay international shipping pages is that you turn off international shipping on all your shipping policies, and it'll automatically kick in if you're just part of the global shipping. Well, I don't know. I like the idea that there's free returns. I just want to get out of eBay's radar, and I'm hoping that like after 6 months, it'll time out so they're no longer harassing me. So then maybe I can list something, because this notion again that eBay is claiming that like Logitech, I'm selling a keyboard, a computer keyboard, and Logitech is a pretty large company for computer keyboards, within 10 minutes of me launching it, is going to have some person in their office catching it, writing a letter, eBay, getting on it, and getting my listing off the site in 10 minutes. That's not a Logitech thing. Even though they try to put it on Logitech, that's someone in eBay's back office flagging my account thing. And I hope I can get past that one day.
You know who I haven't seen either is Tommy.
Tommy Bernard. No Tommy Bernard. Adam Meek says, I just started reselling and have 14 items posted. I've had the items posted for a week and only have a total of 12 views between all items. Is this normal? Everything is... No, this is a different comment. I haven't read Adam's comment. Everything I'm selling is name brand. So 14 items posted.
I read it already. I'm sorry. That was my bad.
See what happens when you jump ahead? I've had the items posted a week and only have 12 views. Well, see, now, if you've just started reselling, that's key. So your account health isn't quite up there. You got to kind of keep grinding, keep building. That's why a lot of newer resellers, they focus more on getting the lowest price up there. And that helps when the buyer sorts it by sorting by low to high as far as price. But it's certainly possible. I mean, depends. You just started reselling. Did you start reselling with zero feedback? Did you build up your account as a buyer to at least get like 10 feedbacks? Because people will see zero feedback from a seller and they'll just totally...
Yeah, buy a recipe card or 10.
Well, I bought a bunch of the digital ones where you can get, instant download. Yeah. And and then
they send you immediate positive feedback.
And you can learn to cook in the meantime. That's good. Selling Nike shirts and sweats and some baseball caps. Well, remember, when you're dealing with clothing, especially, go and look up Nike. Just do a search on Nike shirts.
Yeah,
you're going to be up against high competition. These are name brands, but remember, you're dealing with high competition.
Yeah,
so
you want to make sure that yours stand out above the rest, right? So.
No Design says, John eBay said the problem was their back end and they're sorting the issue with the IT team. And I'm Ron Burgundy. Thank you. Yeah. Let's see. Biscuit Bus says those items are saturated and the players that are paying more for promoting is getting higher in search. Your best bet is to be near the cheapest of those items. So if you have good prices with Nike shirts and stuff like that, then you're more than likely going to have better success that way, or really promoting high. But you want to build your account health too. Johanna Parrish, thanks for being here with us. It's awesome. Miguel Melgoza says, hi, John and Jenna. Do you need 2 bank accounts to do a refund for buyer? eBay says so. No, you don't need 2 bank accounts.
No.
I only have one bank account set up with my account. So yeah, Bob's not being very honest with you.
Bob's lying.
Yeah,
again.
Trying to get you off the line. Purple Cactus sales. Our sales continue to be up. We're retired doing eBay for exercise and keeping brain active, seeing less sellers in our categories, and since not dependent on eBay income, we price out other sellers. Yeah. And you can look, if you get your items, and I say this over and over again, if you are buying your items at a low price, it gives you so much room to price out other sellers. And look, you're in your item for $5, you want 100, I get it, and the market says it's sold for 100. If you get that offer for 50, are you going to take it? I know I am. So
there's Tommy.
Yeah, there's Tommy. He might be working on his shoes in the background. eBay is starting Patreon and podcasts. Sales will increase with Patreon subscription. Meetups in Container Park starting next week. I will not be there. I will not be there. It just like the events that they have like in Vegas in October. I think it's the what the heck is it called? I don't know, the remix or whatever the heck they call it. To pay $350 or $450 I'm not doing that. Look, I'll be there to meet people, but I'm surely not going to go through that. I know Archie was talking about maybe doing it this year, but I'm like, nah, I don't know about that. To each his own. Tommy says Pete is the man. Yes, Craigslist Hunter. He's very genuine with what he does, and I like what he does. It reminds me of Pawn Stars, even though I always thought of his store as a pawn shop. It's not, but he has the same type of conversations that you see like on Pawn Stars. People come in, they want high dollar for their money. Look, I was able to get, these sell on auction for this. And it's like, dude, I can only get $100 for this on eBay. I'm not going to give you $100 for it. It doesn't make any sense. So I just like watching him
Plus,
interact
I like
with people.
watching his parrot.
You know,
What's his parrot's name?
Ruby.
Ruby.
I would love to have a parrot like that, but I'm afraid, really deathly afraid of getting my finger bit the heck off. So
some of them don't. I had a parrot as when I was growing up, and it used to sit on my mom's shoulder and eat off of her plate.
I like teaching birds like words that they probably shouldn't say.
Inappropriate.
Yeah. And to see if they'd say it. But that's when I was a kid having a bird, so probably wouldn't be that sad of me now.
You would still do the same thing.
Midwest Picker says, I'm listing now from Citywide Garage Sale. It was all day. Nice way to get inventory cheaper than the thrift stores. Well, that's awesome.
Wow.
Yeah.
Citywide. Wow.
See, those are good ones. I like the community citywide ones where everyone is like, I think they should make a law that says you have to participate in a yard sale once a year, because we wouldn't have like half of the.
Oh my God. I was thinking about it when you were gone. I was thinking about having a garage sale because I was trying to get through the.
Well, we can't because we're in an HOA over here, and they only tell us like twice a year. Yeah. Here's when you can have a yard sale. Oh. And it turned out I was
going to go open the gate for them.
It was last weekend, and I was thinking about going out and putting some stuff out Sunday morning because I only found out Saturday. And I thought, you know what, I'm not going to, because I really don't have the kind of stuff. You always want to have stuff that people are going to, when they do their little drive-bys, that's a tactic. Don't stop at every yard sale. Do a drive-by when you're looking for a place to park and, see if there's anything worth getting. And then by having stuff out that's going to catch someone's eye, then the other crap stuff will sell.
Yeah.
PTS Treasure says, I do sell similar every Thursday on 50 items, only for the past month. Do you guys find that it works? I've noticed slower Fridays. Yeah.
Yes, it works. It works like a charm every time.
Yeah, I like doing them on Thursdays. But
when our store goes dry and things are, just stagnant, he'll do it, and all of a sudden, boom, both stores will take off again.
Yeah, like bridging it like Thursday, but I didn't want to mess with it yesterday because we were getting sale after sale after sale. I think we had almost $600 in sales yesterday. Today, I mean, after that last sale that hit, I think that we are at 276. So we still got tonight to go. It is what it is, but I have a lot of stuff that I've recently picked up that are going to be very easy lists that, you keep finding the same thing that you've sold before. All you have to do then is you have the listing, go in, check the condition, make sure what it is. If you have to maybe sell similar off of an item that's sold before, just change the pictures, make sure everything weighs the same and launch it. That's kind of what I'm dealing with. So things are getting easier too. So I like that.
Oh, Mike has the flu.
Is he here?
You need to call him. No, he's Archie said Mike is fighting the flu.
Oh no, that's no good. Well, Mike, if you're watching us, buddy, hopefully you get better.
You feel better soon.
I know sometimes when you fly, because he came out here and he flew back, your body has to adjust and everything. And people, they get on those flights and it's like, you're going to be dealing with all 3, 4, 5 hours of whatever they're breathing, so
that's nasty. You said you talked to him earlier.
Guy Guru says, I know the boots go for good money and are fast sellers. So yeah,
I just listed a pair of the boots.
Those are green ones though, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I just listed a pair of boots, those boots, the army boots or military, whatever you want to call them. But 2 days ago, and I already had to send an offer on one, for one person. But I'm sure they'll sell pretty quickly because I have them very reasonably priced.
Yeah. So we have Boxer Puppy Dog. Daisy May says, all right, so I just tuned in, but was reading on a Facebook about how low organic impressions this week. And it just so happens I'm having my worst week in 5 years.
Yeah.
And so, I know that even, James was having a problem with, saying it was a great week and then had a bad end of the week or whatever it was due to a lot of that.
I think it's just overall, everybody's getting it.
Even if there's a problem with the eBay, let's just say there's a problem with eBay. I mean, you can't control it, but you're still getting better sales than if you put your stuff, on Mercari exclusively, that type of thing.
Yeah.
So sales are still out there, guys. Boxer says folks on Facebook are saying it's a side-white issue. Anyone else having problems? Well, as far as if we're looking at traffic just specifically, that's just an indicator. I'm down 22.5% impressions month over month. My sales conversion rate is on par with what it was at. So apparently eBay's saying I'm doing better with the lower impressions that I have. So don't look so much at the impressions. Look at, are you making the sales? Are the sales still coming? Let's see. I got that same message about abusing. I called them and they said the only time I get returns is when something shady is going down. Really? How do they know that? The only time that you get returns is when something shady is going down.
The email that you're talking about, the blurb.
Yeah. I know that. But are they telling you that, or are you telling them that? In this case, though, look, they have guidelines. They have guidelines they want you to follow. If you're following them, then there's nothing they can do. You're providing pictures, and you need to provide a reason. Spell it out. This is what this buyer did, and this is what, if you look at the third photo, they did to this item. Okay. I'm very, very clear with it. I can understand if you're not providing any of that information and you're adjusting refunds on a whim. I can get eBay sending you that. Hey, dude, you're not following the process that we have for this tool. You need to either use it properly or not use it at all. I get it. But when you're using it and, you get a statement like that saying that, you're abusing the process, that's like, okay, well, then what do you want me to do? Do you want me to let people send back their, 5-year-old, unit, which is a replacement? They just swapped out mine. It's okay if they send this back without the remote. What is it? So, I'm still going to follow the process. And as long as you are, accurate with what's going on, then according to what they told me, that's not going to be a problem. Just disregard it. Tommy Z says, when they say eBay Q1 is down, what is that compared to? Q4 or Q1 of, well, it would be Q1 of 2022, but it's also based on projections. So they get into this habit of projecting. We think I think they thought that they were going to lose 5%, and they ended up, losing 3%. And the CEO touted it as a great thing, but it's still 3%. So whatever you were, maybe doing last year in January, it's down like about 3% from that, from what I understand based on it. Tommy says it depends on what you sell on Posh. We did 52,000 on Posh last year in 8 months with 330 listings and 0 effort. It's viable, but nowhere near eBay sales. Yeah, and you'll tend to get a little bit more for your items on Poshmark than on eBay. It's definitely worth whatever tool you use. I don't care what you use, whether you use Prime Lister or any other tool. It's definitely worth that monthly fee of getting your eyes in front of more people, that type of thing. No One Design says, Tommy, yes, you can make a lot on Posh with average sell price, sell-through rate, and research by doing actual work too. But realistically, how many people are doing that? If it was so everyone would be doing that. Some people don't want to be bothered. I could sit up here all day long and tell people how good cross-listing is. They're comfortable. You tell people the way to make money in this business is to get uncomfortable. If you don't have something that, like Tommy is comfortable within his success because he has something good going, right? You can get comfortable in this business and still make good money. But for those of you who are not happy with where you're at, you got to find a way to get uncomfortable. And for some people, managing eBay, Poshmark, Mercari all at the same time is more work than they want to do, and they don't want to be uncomfortable. And until people learn to get uncomfortable, it'll get comfortable after a while. These large items I'm dealing with, the first week of bringing them home, Jenna looked at me up and down sideways and thought I was an idiot. But when I started showing her the numbers, it became more comfortable. Okay. And we got used to doing it. We've developed processes. We've changed processes.
Believe me, I still look at him cross-eyed when he brings home an entire carload of toilet seats.
Well, you do that for any reason, though.
Yeah,
look at me cross-eyed just because you can. Let's see. Trying to catch up to you guys, by the way.
Pete's here.
Where's Pete? Where's Pete? Did
down,
I scroll past him?
No, he's down.
Uh-oh. He's always watching.
Mm-hmm.
He's always watching, and this won't let me show it. I think we got a glitch going on here.
We have a glitch.
Uh-oh. eBay's taking over. eBay has taken over StreamYard, but Craigslist Hunter is watching. So thank you, Pete. I appreciate you, man. Thank you for the shout out. That was really cool. Tommy says, Poshmark has their own bulk share tool. Really no different. I've never once had an issue with
Poshurba.
What is Poshurba?
It must be how he shares.
There used to be a way that Jenna would share before we used Prime Lister that was like $9.99 a month on an app, and it would like share the listings. But the Prime Lister tool comes with that feature, which is pretty cool. Westlake Market says, got 2 sales after hitting the like button. I just don't know. I don't know what it is. Maybe that's the eBay glitch. It's tied into the StreamYard thing. You hit the like button, you get the sales. Tommy says, I'm at 420 roughly on Poshmark for the day. It's not big money, but it goes directly into wife's LLC in case I kick one day. She can do Poshmark solo and pay the bills easily. But, that's awesome. 420 a day. I mean, 420 a day over a 30-day period is now you've sold $12,000. So that doesn't seem like a small amount anymore. So, yeah, that's awesome. Good job. Stepmo says, John, do you refund full if the buyer returns stated doesn't fit, even though you have pictures on measurements? If they send a return saying doesn't fit, that tells me that they are probably paying for the return unless I have it turned on for free shipping if it's under £1, or free returns if it's under £1. I will give them a full refund in that case. If the item is, this is the key, the item must be in the same condition. Now, if you sold them a brand new item that's in let's say it's a factory pack that's like in a nice bag, right? Well, it's not in the same condition anymore. Maybe they returned it with the tags. The tags are now thrown in the trash. Maybe they returned it with a ketchup stain on it, right? And, whatever. That's not the same condition. That changes the whole ball game for me, and I won't give them a full refund in that case. Tommy says, Archie, with the small store like I run, I get big sways day to day on both platforms. I look at averages for a month. If I looked at daily numbers, I'd be on the ledge every day. Yeah, you don't want to see, the thing is, I like looking at daily because I'm working today for today. Okay. So I can't work today as a month. In fact, I can even bring it down. I can work this hour. How many items am I going to try to get listed within this hour? So you break it down. It doesn't become as overwhelming if you start thinking of all the stuff I have to list that's in my garage. You start breaking it down. So I look at the numbers on a daily basis because I'm trying to, my mini goal is say $500 on a eBay for the main account. So if I didn't hit that goal, okay, I'm not going to panic. Tomorrow is a new day. We'll try to hit that goal tomorrow. But it adds motivation. I mean, I guess some of us need it, some of us don't, but I am no different than a lot of you guys. There's certain things that motivate me, and there's certain things that demotivate me. I get more motivated when I get good sales. It means, wow, whatever I'm doing is working. When my sales suck, that means like, dude, you need to get more stuff up and you need to get out there. And that it kind of works both ways for me, but I look at it day to day, but I'm not going to panic. I think we had a day, was it a couple days ago? Actually, it was last Friday. You guys remember that? I had a $42 day. Okay. Followed up by a $633 day. You just can't panic. Okay.
$42. It
was a $42 day.
Wow, on a Friday.
On a Friday. And it was like I was telling you guys, this sucks. It was last Friday. I was telling you guys sales are really bad. But you know what's going to happen. If you take the last 7 days, or $2,700 in sales, translates into $11,000 to $12,000 in sales. Of course, that's sales. If you're working at about a 50% margin, is kind of like what we're doing, then it's not too bad for that account. And remember, we're doing all kinds of other things too. We have another eBay store as well. Craigslist Hunter, Pete says, you're welcome. That's awesome. Awesome. Glad that you
Silver Hair Stackers here
like to watch the show.
He finally made it.
Where's he at? I saw that one. Roman, we can make money on eBay. Holy cow.
Oh, because he said, what I missed. Just got here. What did I miss? Can we start over?
Yeah. Well, good thing YouTube is going to replay this whenever you want. You can replay this whole video if you want, because we are an hour and almost 30 in.
I got to check and make sure that the lady came.
Johanna Parrish says, does anyone do print on demand with eBay? Every time I try to add a designated puzzle, it clunks out. Print on demand. I've never really had to mess with that. So if someone can answer that question, please do. Cornhusker Picker says, Tommy, do you tend to get higher prices on Posh to make up for the higher fees? I can answer that. I mean, probably Tommy will tell you the same thing, but yes, the higher prices that you can charge are going to make up for the higher fees. And the label, you don't have to weigh anything as long as it's under 5 pounds. You can be reasonably sure, like a pair of shoes is usually going to be under 5 pounds. You slap it in a USPS box, run the priority mail label, and it speeds up your shipping on those items too. Sylvia Hunt says, hi guys, have had no returns, was new clothes, and the buyer asked me to return for not fitting. This is right. Okay, so if you have no returns set for your listings, which we could talk about, you guys know how I feel about that. They're not, unless they say it's item not as described or item damage, something like that, then they can ask for a return. eBay is going to give them the ability to ask you to accept the return, but you don't have to accept the return. Okay. Now, with that said, a buyer can open an item not as described case when there's no problem at all. Maybe there's no issue with it. It's brand new, still sealed, and say that there's an issue with it. You are on the hook for the return. So for me, I don't use no returns. It tells what does it tell the buyer? It tells the buyer that you don't believe in your product. You don't believe in whatever you're selling. You are afraid of that item coming back for some reason. And it turns off potential sales, I think. So, I have a lot of my listings saying buyer pays for returns. If you get someone that says, like, they bought an item for me, about a week ago, and I'm surprised. They could have had me paid the $20 for the return label, but they put just didn't like it. So guess what? They're on the hook for the return label. So, but yeah, returns are part of business. Can you imagine if you went to your local department store and you couldn't return it for whatever reason? You might not want to shop there. So just something to consider. These are what your buyers are thinking about. Let's see. Tommy says Posh has lower fees than eBay if you promote. Also, yes, you get bigger prices. Archie says, I personally take all returns, but depending on shipping, I decide if the buyer pays returns. Yeah, like the larger items that we deal with, I'm not doing free returns on that. Maybe it just doesn't work the way that they thought. Maybe they're like, you know what? I'm not quite liking this. I'm going to send it back since it's free returns. But if they knew they had to pay for the return label, then
they'll learn to like it.
Yeah, it's okay. I can live with it. Jay Lou says, can you charge higher prices on eBay for sneakers on StockX or GOAT than on StockX for GOAT? I don't think so. If I had to guess, I'd say no. And mainly because you have so much more competition on eBay than those other sites. Those sites like Poshmark, for sure, Poshmark, you're not going to get more on eBay than on Poshmark. I can tell you that.
Silver
Hair says, I would trade one of my sons to have a daughter like Jenna.
Oh, awesome. You're so sweet.
Well, that's awesome that you said that, but hopefully your son doesn't watch this live stream. I don't think he'd appreciate that too much.
Tell your son to move on over.
Fisher Flip says the fees aren't bad on Posh. It's no different on eBay using all the promotions.
Right.
Yeah, and I do use a lot of the promotions. Mark's going to check out. Time for me to go, John and Jenna. Have a great weekend. You too, sir. Thank you for being here. Liz Realiziu says, I'm typically get away more money on eBay because I don't drop the price so dramatically over time. And I've been a primarily Poshmark seller for 10 years. Interesting. Well, you can still sell items on eBay at a higher price point. You need to do all the things I'd say promote a little higher, get your item higher up in search. Some people don't want to dig around and search for a lower priced item. If they find the item that works for them, some people are willing to pay the price because this is exactly what I'm looking for. So I don't.
The mail lady did not come.
Oh, wow. It means I get to have a fun trip to post office. That's fun. So, hey guys, we're going to, because of that, we're going to put an end to it here. We had a really good live stream today. But I think the moral of the story here, at least the headline of this live stream, is that we need to start looking at these glitches a little differently. We need to, and I know it's kind of hard because we don't feel like eBay's treating it the same way, but this is really a partnership between the sellers and eBay. And yeah, eBay's not doing their part for that arrangement, but it's in your best interest, in my best interest, that we treat it that way because we want eBay to succeed. And when they get through their glitches, when they get through the crap that's holding us back, or at least making us feel like it's holding us back, we're all going to be more successful in the end, which means that you need to start reporting glitches that you come across. Don't just say, it's just another glitch, because eBay is not going to think, if it's not important to you, eBay is not going to hold importance for it. So
it's just like if you were working a regular job in the corporate world, you would tell your supervisor if something wasn't working right. So you want to make sure you're telling eBay what's going on as well.
Yeah, we just can't write it off as, oh, here comes eBay again with another glitch, because they don't know that. I mean, they may see a few people reporting it, but if it's done from the masses, every time you encounter something, then you know what, they're going to fix it. They are not this company that hates every seller. They want sellers to succeed. This is not me kissing eBay's butt. You guys know how I feel about what eBay has been the last couple of years, but the bottom line is they still bring in traffic, and traffic equals sales. And as long as the sales are there, then hey, I want to see eBay succeed. So hopefully the message comes across the right way. I know there's some people are going to just take whatever they want to, from what I said and make it something that it's not. But we all need to be an integral part of the process. And hopefully by clicking the links, that I provided in the chat below, it'll give you guys a start. And hopefully we'll get through this together and be better for it. But whenever these kind of things happen, especially like glitches and things out of our control, it's got to keep pushing forward. But just know that just another example of how flipping ain't easy. And I want you guys to have an excellent weekend, and we will talk to you guys very soon. Take care, everyone.
Bye, guys.